Through the power from beyond the grave, I summon Adolf Hitler back.
At last, I have been reanimated. But wait, there was a reason that you brought me back, was there not? What is that reason?
I wish to ask you a few questions. I wish to interview you.
So, you wish to interview me? I must admit, I am intrigued. Sure, you may ask me questions. What is the first one?
Yes, the first question. Where are you from, originally?
I was born in Brambau am Inn, in Austria. I may have been born into a middle-class family. However, I grew into so much more.
All right, very interesting. How did you come to power?
After a failed coup, I rose in power and ranks through the Nazi Party. I became a very high-ranking official. From there, I was appointed Chancellor, and as my power as Chancellor grew, I eventually became the Führer of Germany.
All right, next question. What were your political goals, and how successful do you think that they were?
My main goal was to regain the political power of Germany, to show Europe that we too are a force to be reckoned with. For too long, we have been trampled over. We've been taken advantage of. Anybody who thinks otherwise, who will stand in our way, must be executed. We must show Europe that we too deserve all that it has to offer. We cannot be put down. Versailles has blamed us for all of Europe's wrongdoing. That is not just. We must build up our military. We must fight for nationalism. We must fight for Germany. I believe that we were successful in this goal. I have heard that Germany is once again a great nation. It is, again, Germany.
All right, that brings me perfectly to the next question. Why did you decide to violate the Treaty of Versailles?
They put us down unfairly. We had to show them that we too have a right to Europe, that we cannot sit idly by while being trampled and put down by the rest of Europe. To break the Treaty of Versailles, we had to build up our military. We had to stand up for ourselves. We had to become Germany once more. We had to reclaim what they had taken from us. And that is right.
All right, next question. I hear that you were a huge animal rights activist. Why were you advocating animal rights, but not human rights?
I have always hated the idea of animal cruelty. I was a vegetarian myself, and I enacted countless laws against animal cruelty in Germany. I was an activist for animal rights. And human rights too. I could not even bear to think of unjustly putting a human through torture. War is a different story. They are fighting for their country. They are fighting for what is right. As for the Jews, they were not human. They were less than us. They were not innocent. They were guilty. They put us all into this situation. They deserve to pay.
All right, that brings me perfectly to the next question. Why the Jews? What did they do to deserve all of this torture and pain?
I feel the better question would be, why not the Jews? They were despicable people. They hoarded all of our money after the war. They were greedy and cared for nothing but themselves. Without them, we wouldn't be in the recession we are in now. World War I would not have ended as it did. It is because of the Jews that we are in this situation. They are impure. They should be exterminated. They soiled the human race, the Aryan race. If we are to move on, if we are to revolutionize humanity, the Jews must go.
Okay, and then one thing that I've always been wondering, were you nervous? How did you feel when the Allies were advancing upon you, were taking your land from you?
At first, I wasn't worried at all. We had tapped their lines. We knew exactly what they were saying and what they were planning. There was nothing that could catch us by surprise. However, they managed to anyway. Normandy, we were not expecting that, but we could still hold off. We may not have had as many troops there as we wanted, but we did have troops. We could have held them off, but alas, we did not. They advanced. In retaliation, I wanted to bomb Britain so badly they could never recover. However, our resources just were not there. So I ordered my troops to press on, to bring back nothing but victory. They tried as they might, but they could not withhold. I should have stood up then, taken control myself, but I did not. I was a coward. I went and hid in my bunker, and that is how I spent the rest of my days, in isolation.
My, how insightful. And my last question. How is it that you died?
I decided it was not worth it to let the Allies gain control of what I had. Me. What I had in my head was more valuable than anything else. So, I took a pill of cyanide. After I had ingested it, I took my pistol and I shot myself in the head. I died.
All right, well, thank you very much for this rare opportunity to interview you, to understand what it was like to live with you.
Thank you for the questions. You know, thinking back on my life through this interview, it has made me realize something about myself and all that I have done. I could have done so much better, but I did not. Well, I'm off back to bed now. I shall sleep for another eternity.
Okay then.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Good night. I
Gute Nacht.
may see you later.